So today I'm going to teach you guys. Like I said, people come on late, people come on early. If somebody come on here and their camera is like on and they are unmuted, just wave me down or something. I can mute them, but I'm looking at my screen teaching a lesson and I can't really look at you guys too. But today I want to teach you the number one thing I feel like you should do before you ever create a package. Number one thing I feel like you should do before you ever make a website, before you ever put yourself out there. I want to teach you how to define your photography brand. And it's so important that you define your photography brand because, like I told you, either the world is going to define it for you or you're going to define it yourself. And I promise you, if the world defines it for you, that's not going to be a good look. But if by the end of this call, you can know exactly how to define your photography brand, I promise you, you will be one step further ahead of the people, like anybody in your area. And when you do define your photography brand, you're going to be able to do three things. I'm going to give you three things that you're going to be able to do when you define your photography brand. The first thing you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to stand out in a crowded photography market and charge what you feel like you deserve. Now, why do I say this, right? Why does this matter? And how can I stand out in a saturated market and also charge what I feel like I deserve? Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm from Detroit, Michigan, and we got new photographers popping up every day. When I first came out and charged $2,100 for a maternity session, everybody told me that nobody would book me. Everybody said, man, no way, because my city is a city that's charging 250, 300, 500. And some of y'all in here right now may be charging a price that you feel like is not worth it. We can be honest. You may be charging a price right now that you feel like it's not worth it. And you may be scared of the competition around you. Hey, I mean, some of you probably just copied the packages from your homeboy, your homegirl. But I'm not saying that's okay, but that is okay. But after today, that's not going to be okay no more because I want to help you figure out how you can charge what you feel like you deserve. The second thing I want to do is I want to help you become the go-to photographer in your area, even if you are surrounded by a town full of photographers. So a lot of people say, oh, my city's so saturated. Oh man, there's so many photographers in my city. Or a lot of people like, man, I'm in a small town. And people be telling me all type of excuses. But if you notice, like I said, how you do anything is how you do everything. You telling me if I look up the population of your city right now, you can't get one person to book with you. So it doesn't matter if you're in a big town or a small one, right? We all are in areas and it's plenty of fish in the sea for us all to get. But you can't get any fish if you don't know what type of fish you're trying to catch. And that's the whole point of today. I want to help you develop a brand where you know exactly where to get your fish from, what type of fish you want, and how to catch them. And lastly, this is one that's kind of true to my heart. Once you learn how to define your photography brand, you can eliminate the price shoppers or at least scare them away enough so that you don't have to waste your time. We do this thing in the group. Some of you may be inside of our group. Some of you may not be inside of our group, but we do this thing in our group. It's called the 3-page website. A 3-page website is a series of pages that qualifies clients for you, right? It's no more all clients come in and they can just click a button and choose a time on the schedule. No, it's no more of that. All right, we scare all them people away. So they have to fill out an application form. We don't put our packages on our website. We put our starting prices, right? Because our starting prices will weed out the people and not ghost. They won't ghost us like they would if we just sent them a link to book, right? That's not how things go. So today, like I told you, I want to help everybody in here right now define their photography brand. It's going to be in 3 steps. Let's go step number 1. So step number 1, we need to figure out what you are going to get good at taking portraits of, right? And you do this by choosing a specialty. So when you think about a specialty, y'all, let's kind of break this definition down. Like it's the Webster dictionary definition is a pursuit, area of study, or skill to which someone has devoted much time and effort in which they are an expert. So if I am a photographer, what do we all do? We shoot everything, right? We shoot everything. We shoot weddings, booty, boudoir, graduation, sports, cars. We do everything, but you have to narrow that down because you're just a commodity, right? You don't want to commoditize something that's already a commodity. Photographers are already considered a commoditized service because we are not a need-based service. We are a desire-based luxury service. So how do I turn my photography brand into a brand that where people need me? How do I create desire in people? And you do that by choosing a specialty. So if we look at this, right, you got general doctors. If any of us fall off of hop a fence, we fall off the fence right now, the first place we're going to go to is the urgent care, right? In the urgent care, we're going to see a general doctor. But if the general doctor comes back and they say, hey, man, you broke your foot, I'm going to send you to, boom, an ankle specialist, or I'm going to send you to a foot doctor, because the general doctor does not have the information or the expertise needed to solve the problem. So when you think about this, a specialty in the general doctors can be an OBGYN, that's a specialty. You think about it, it could be a cardiology doctor, right? Or a dermatology doctor. These are doctors that specialize in specific things for a specific person, and they solve a specific problem, right? And when you become a specialist, you earn more. Let's talk about that. You earn more, right? Who you think made more money? The person you see at the urgent care, or the person that's going to do heart surgery on you? The person that's going to do heart surgery on you, for sure, for sure. They know more, right? Since I have this specialty, I know more. I know more about how to solve your problems and how to give you the correct solution to solve your problem. And what does that do? That builds more trust. So why can't the same thing apply in photography, right? And it's this law, and I'm sorry that I forget the name of the law. It's like a universal law. And it says that all principles are microcosms of other principles. So if this principle works in the medical field, this principle will work in the photography field. The more you specialize, the more money you make. So let's say all of us in here right now, if my marketing has done what it should be doing, should be portrait photographers. So if we're looking at portrait photography, right? Portrait photography is a general area of profession. Just like we have general doctors, portrait photography is a general area of a bigger profession. But inside of portrait photography, you have all these different specialties, that you can choose from in order to build your photography brand. So, Nate, I know we were talking about, hey, I'm a portrait photographer. I shoot graduation, branding, birthday. I mean, like we're working towards specializing in one thing. Ty, you may have something that you specialize in, all right, or you're looking to specialize in. You may just be a portrait photographer and you're looking to specialize in graduation or glamour or maternity, right? These are all specialties inside of one general profession. And the sooner you find your specialty, the more you make, the more people trust you, and the more expertise you will have. So in a nutshell, the first step that y'all need to do, right? The first step that y'all need to do is choose. What are you going to put the maximum amount of time and effort into learning how to master, and commit to it for the next 10 years? I heard this, I keep saying I heard this quote, but I'll be listening to a lot of books and a lot of masterminds and stuff. And the guy said this, he said, you know, us as entrepreneurs, we don't give ourselves a long enough time horizon to determine if something worked or not, right? Sometimes we put 2 months in, 3 months in, a day, and then we be like, oh man, it wasn't working. But you got to remember that all work works. If you work, the work is going to work. And the only way it does not work is if you quit. So when we think about that, I need y'all to think with my specialty, right? With your specialty, what am I going to commit to for the next 10 years? I need you to stop thinking in days and stop thinking in weeks and start thinking in decades. What am I going to commit to for the next 10 years? And I promise you, only then you can truly analyze if something worked or not. So everybody in here, from the people that's going to be watching on the replay, from the people that's here live on Zoom, whatever specialty that you choose, you have to give yourself a long enough time horizon to try something before you say it doesn't work. Isn't it? And this may be a easy question. I hope it's an easy question, but isn't it inevitable that if you put 100% into something for 10 years, you will succeed? Don't y'all think so? I'm pretty sure if you put 10 years into something at 100%, you will succeed, right? You will succeed. And I want to give y'all, oh man, I want to give y'all some of the words from the richest man that ever lived on earth. Richer than Elon Musk, richer than Bill Gates, anybody you can think of ever, right? This was his words right here. And it comes from King Solomon, right? In all toil, there's profit, but mere talk only leads to poverty, right? All work works. It either works on you or for you, but all works work. And most of the time, the work that's working on you is preparing for what God has for you. But a lot of people don't want to let the work on them to be the person to get what they are destined to get, right? So many times we focus on another YouTube mentor. He said we focus too much on having the thing instead of being the person who can obtain the thing, right? And all of this right here, everybody in this chat right here, getting this information, I promise you, you're working on becoming the person that can do what's necessary. Nay, you working on becoming the person that can charge $1,000. Ty, you working on becoming the person that can establish their brand to be able to book 4-figure clients, 5-figure clients, and whoever iPad is, right? I don't know who you are, but you in this chat for a reason, listening to me in the background, listening to me right now, watching me, or whatever it is, you're in this chat for a reason. I promise you, this work that you're doing right now is going to work for you. I promise you. I made a post and asked, I'm doing a free class teaching photographers how to brand themselves. So many people commented, so many people did not show up. People don't even want to do the work no more, right? People just don't want to do the work. So I want to give y'all some specialties that y'all can choose from, right? Just give y'all some specialties inside of portrait photography that y'all could potentially choose from. So we got birthday, right? Birthday is a niche. Everybody turns a certain age every single day. Every single day, everybody turns a certain age every single day. Beauty. How many people do y'all think come out with a hair brand, a nail tech brand, a lash brand, a makeup line, makeup products? Beauty is a bag. Branding, entrepreneurs every single day. Graduation, somebody graduates every single season, right? Somebody graduates every single season. People love love. Couples, people love love. So it's going to be someone who's in love every single season, right? What about glamour? When you think about what is glamour, Jet? Glamour is most likely if you're shooting models and they have their makeup done, their hair done, and it's focusing on the subject. Beauty and glamour is two different things. Beauty usually focus on shoulders and up, focusing on the hair products, the hair, the eyelashes, the lips, etc. Glamour focus on the full subject. That's typically models, right? Typically models. So you may do a glamour shoot for a hair brand, but if you go into Mac, they want to do a beauty shoot, not a glamour shoot. It's two different things, right? So boudoir, I'm not into the boudoir space, but maybe you want to be in a boudoir. Kids, parents love getting photos taken of their kids. Babies are born every day, and people get pregnant every day in maternity. So thinking about that, y'all don't come in maternity. I'm just playing. Y'all can come in maternity. But thinking about that, all right, it's always going to be clients out here. And if you are sitting right now and you feel like, man, I'm just not getting booked, it's your fault. And I'm sorry to say this, and I don't mean to come off harsh. If you don't have the clients you want right now, it's your fault, right? And it's your fault because I promise you, everybody in here has been able to have an opportunity to get the information that they need, but they were either being too cheap or being fearful. You didn't want to pay or you were scared to do the work. It's one or the other. So when we think about all these things, you have lanes you can go into. So once we choose our specialty, right? We choose one of these specialties, we need to choose our who. So step one, how do I define my brand? I'm going to choose my specialty. Step two, what's the next step in defining my brand? Okay, I'm a master at taking photos for this person, but who is that person? I'm a master at taking photos for this person, but who is that person, right? I'm a master at taking maternity photos, but when we think about that, um, who am I taking maternity photos of? And let me see really quick. A lot of people saying that they needed the meeting password. Well, I didn't know. I didn't know that. A lot of people said they need the meeting password. Let's see. Let me post an updated link in there really quick, y'all. Let's see. That's probably why I was only 4 people on here. Sorry, Nay, it might be a lot of people over here when you talk. Because I got a lot of messages like, Jed, where the password at? Where the password at? So when we think about this, you got to choose your who. Who is your who? Who is the person that you're going to service, right? And once you figure out your what you want to specialize in, then you must choose your who. Who are you going to get good at taking pictures of, Ty? Who are you going to get good at taking pictures of, Nay? Who are you going to get good at taking pictures of? So when we think about this, will you master taking maternity photos of married couples? Or maybe you may master taking maternity photos of single moms, right? Who are you going to get good at taking photos of? That is so important. And a lot of people don't even know what they gonna master, and they also don't know who they gonna master it of, who they're gonna master taking photos of. So when we think about this, you can't have a brand without knowing who that brand tailors to. You cannot have a brand without knowing who that brand tailors to. So maybe you want to take birthday photos of women who feel 30 is the new 20. That's like a new wave going on. So I can be a birthday photographer for women who feel that 30 is the new 20. So you banging out dirty 30 birthday photo shoots, right? They will more than likely happily pay you $1,000+. And I know I took this image when I was doing everything. I was shooting all type of portraits. And I know it says 16 at the bottom, but y'all get the point that this is a birthday photo shoot. So, or will you have women in business brand themselves? When you think about this, there's so many women that start businesses. There's so many men that start businesses. So are you going to be that person who help people brand themselves and start businesses? Right? That's so important because you want to know, who do I help and what do I help them do? You could be a beauty photographer. Right? This is one of my favorite beauty shots that I took when I was doing everything. And beauty photos are literally for hair, makeup artists, lip gloss lines, eyebrows. People are getting into like the IV bar stuff. Like, beauty is a lane. Beauty is a lane, and people are going to pay. Right? Showcasing women's beauty. Right? People are going to pay for that. So I want you guys to really figure out, who am I going to get good at taking photos of? And lastly, right, you may feel like you want to take graduation portraits of women or men who graduated, right? That could be undergraduate. So undergraduate is associates and bachelors, or graduate. That could be masters and PhD. Do you not think that, and oh man, this is where that disbelief comes in for a lot of portrait photographers, right? Do you not think that people who are graduating with a PhD won't pay you $1,000? $1,000 to take photos of the work that they put in for the last, I don't know, even know how many years to remember this moment. All right. I was doing high school grad. These are two high school graduates that graduated the same year as me, and I took their photos. But I was charging them $500. Imagine what I could have charged somebody that was graduating with a PhD, because they really, the moment is more important. It's more serious to that person. So these are all examples of who you do it for. Now, once you decide your what and your who, you have now figured out what your niche is. So a lot of people, I know it's a lot of talk about, I don't want to put myself in a box, and I'm creative and I'm an artist. Oh my gosh, if y'all knew how much backlash I get on choosing a niche. All right, but do you think that Amazon targets everybody? If we sat in the Amazon meeting, Amazon does not target everybody. Tesla does not target everybody, right? The same people that freaking Gucci target is not the same people that Fruit of Loom target for t-shirts. Everybody has a lane. And if you're a portrait photographer and you feel like, man, I don't want to put myself in a box. If you think about it, how does any package get to you? It's in the box. It's in the box. So with all that being said, once you figure out what you do and you figure out who you do it for, you have a niche. And you cannot have a niche without having a specialty and a target audience. Your what and your who. If anybody tells you, hey man, I have a niche, you don't have a niche, because your niche is your specialty and a target audience. All right, a specialty and a target audience. So if you don't know what your niche is, you may be having a hard time figuring it out. I want to give you 2 questions to ask yourself to choose a niche that is right for you. And as a food for thought, right, for everybody in this Zoom right now, for everybody that may be watching the replay, the hardest part is not choosing the niche, it's committing to that niche. The hardest part is not choosing the niche, y'all. It's committing to that niche. A lot of people in here right now, a lot of people that's going to be watching this replay, you asked the wrong question. Man, I don't know how to choose my niche. Yes, you do. And I'm going to help you. But are you willing to commit to that niche when stuff feels slow? Are you willing to commit to that niche for the next 10 years and put in that work? I've been doing maternity photography for 2 years now, specifically. My first year, I paid $1,000, y'all, for 4 hours worth of conversation. All right, $1,000. I paid my mentor, Stephanie Fickett, 4 hours, $250 an hour. She helped me get my prices together and also create a script. She did not help me brand myself. She did not help me market myself. She literally helped me create collections, which is very valuable. But from December to March, I didn't book nobody. From December to March, I didn't book nobody. That's December, January, February, March. That's 4 months. But think about I started in August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 8 months. So I started, and then I was being naive to getting a mentor, like everybody does. So I just invested the money. 8 months. It took me 8 months. It took me 8 months. Oh my gosh, to get my first $2,100 client. But I didn't give up. And a lot of people in here right now that's gonna watch this replay, you don't give yourself a long enough time horizon to determine if something is working. Like I told y'all earlier, everything works if you work it. If you don't get nothing else from the call, if you feel like Jet ain't talking about nothing, remember this statement for the rest of your life in every area of your life. Everything works if you work it. Commit to a niche for the next 10 years. And then at the end of the 10 years, if it doesn't work, leave it. But like I told you, don't you think if you put 100% of the work every day in that one niche, you'll be successful? Of course you will. All you have to do is commit. And I want all my photographers in here, any photographer that's under me, any photographer that listens to my videos, has been on me for so long, I want y'all to stop trying to shoot so many things. Right? You would be so better off taking, you got 4 glasses. You shoot graduation, birthday, booty, and kids. That means it's 25% in each glass. But imagine if you took 3 glasses and put those glasses into one cup and you went 100% into one thing. You'll be so far off. So don't you think the person who focuses on one thing will be more successful than the person who splits their attention with 5 different lanes? Of course they will. You have to commitment. Like I told y'all, how you do anything is how you do everything. If you cannot commit to a niche, you can't commit to a boyfriend or a girlfriend. If you can't commit to a niche, you can't commit to a marriage. If you can't commit to a niche, I know you ain't posting consistently on Instagram. You just can't. How you do anything is how you do everything. How do I choose my niche? First step, get your feet wet. Reps matter. I want y'all to shoot maternity, shoot newborn, shoot grad, shoot beauty, shoot boudoir, shoot birthday, glamour, fashion, newborn, kids. Do a lot of shoots first until you get clear on it. And the sooner you do, the sooner you grow. Once you get those reps in, then I would suggest asking yourself these 2 questions. So if you need help choosing your niche, get those reps in, right? And what do I mean by reps? Reps could mean anything. Reps can literally mean anything. I did a whole bunch of maternity shoots, but then I only did like 2 shoots with a married expecting parents. And I said, oh, I just want to shoot people that's married and they expecting a child. So reps matter, but you don't have to do 1,000 shoots to determine what you really want to do, right? So these are the 2 questions you should ask yourself to choose your niche. If I could shoot one thing all day, what would I do? This question is going to help you determine what you specialize in, right? If you could shoot one thing all day, what would you do? And I'm not going to put the for free in there because people be lying saying, oh man, if I could shoot, I would do this all day if it was for free. I'm not putting that part in there. One thing all day, what would you do? And it's going to help you determine what you specialize in, right? So let's say it's birthday. Let's just say, I got some birthday photographers in here. I didn't train some birthday photographers. Let's say it's birthday, right? Now, out of all the shoots that you did, which type of client did you connect with the most and have the best experience with? This is going to help you determine who you do it for. So the first question you asking yourself is, if I could shoot something all day, what would it be? That's your specialty. The second question you ask yourself is, using a birthday example, what type of client did I connect with the most and who did I have the best experience with? So did you have the best experience with a mom who celebrated her 40th birthday, or the 21-year-old who brought her homegirls with her to the shoot and they turned up? This is who you do it for. And this is so important. It's very important. Choose your niche by asking yourself these 2 questions. And I just want to maybe ring some bells to some people, especially people on the replay, especially people on right now. I should be able to go on your website and your socials and say this person specializes in blank for blank. I should not be able to, I should not go on your Instagram and I see your cousin TT in her bodysuit, your auntie's 40th birthday shoot, a grass shoot outside, cars, butterflies. And I'm not saying this to make nobody feel like they're less, but I'm saying is I've been there before. And what I figured out is that if I'm a client and I'm trying to pay $1,000 and I'm looking for somebody to take my birthday photos, if I go on your page, you got all that, I don't feel like you can help me. I don't, right? And what does the quote say? A confused buyer never buys. A confused buyer never buys. If they are confused, they never buy. So when we're thinking about this, y'all, I should be able to go on your Instagram right now and say, they specialize in this for that. Also, when a client recommends you, the statement should be, you should go to Nay for blank. You should be able to go to Pound for blank. You should be able to go to Ty for blank. It shouldn't be like, oh man, I got this one photographer who, they do graduation and they take some fire birthday photo shoots and they did my homegirl stripper photo shoot for her flyer. My daughter is graduating and I'm trying to pay for her a photo shoot and I got $2,500. I'm not trying to go to anybody. I want to go to somebody that specializes in this for that specific person. So if I can't go on your Instagram right now and determine what you do and who you do it for, it's a problem. It is a problem. And if I can't recommend nobody to you without saying, oh, she do this, that, and the third, it's a problem. Right? It's time to figure out what you specialize in and who you specialize in it for. And I cannot stress that enough. And a lot of people is going to go in one ear, out the other. And next week is going to be time to create your customer avatar so you can know exactly who to book and you're going to be lost. So now that you pick what you do and you determine who you do it for, it's time to figure out what problems your ideal client has and what solution you provide to them to solve them. We know what we do. We know who we do it for. Now it's time to decide and figure out first, what are their problems and how can we provide solutions to them? So step 3, in defining your brand. First, we figured out, okay, what am I going to get really good at taking photos of? Second thing we figured out, who am I going to get really good at taking those photos of? Third thing we're going to figure out is what are my clients' problems and developing your USP. So what is your USP? Your USP is your unique selling proposition. This is why somebody should buy from you versus your homie down the street. Why should a client invest in you versus the other photographer in your area? Right. So let me give you a couple examples. I made a couple good examples, right? So Janet is turning 21 in 2 weeks, and she wants to post photos on Instagram to show all her family and friends. She knows when she posts on her birthday, she would get a lot of likes, comments, and shares, and everyone will be talking about how cute she looks. She wants the praise and all the attention on her birthday. She knows she can't accomplish that with her iPhone because it will look basic. And she is known for being extra. And I know these are my clients on the pictures, but this is not their storyline. So just take this as an example, right? So this is the problem. Janet wants photos to post on her Instagram to show her family and friends so she can get a lot of likes, comments, and attention on her birthday, right? What do we do? What do everybody do when it's their birthday? We go through our phones and we scroll and we try to find the best picture to post on our birthday for everybody knows our birthday. So it can get sent, it can get shared. So a lot of the times, photographers, y'all got to stop thinking that the problem is clients need photo shoots. They don't. They don't. The problem is not that they need photo shoots. The problem is they want images to post on their birthday that blow up their gram and make them have to turn their notifications off. That's the problem. That's what they really want. So the solution is she books a photo shoot. And it's a catch to this. I'm gonna go through 2 more examples, but it's a catch to this because you may be saying like, dang, Jet, that's an easy solution. Anybody can do that. You're right. Anybody can do that. So for all my branded photographers, right? Michaela is getting ready to launch her new website where clients can come and book consulting services with her. On her website, she has a section talking about her story of who she is and what she does. That About Me section has an old picture of her that discusses her every time she looks at it. and it doesn't represent who she is now. She does not want to launch her site with that old photo and desperately needs images that represent her brand well. She has a problem. And most people say, man, she need a photo shoot. No, she does not need a photo shoot. The photo shoot is the vehicle or the gap closer to the problem that she has. It's the solution to the problem that she has, right? But her problem is not that she needs a photo shoot. Her problem is that she needs new photos to use on her website that represents her better and shows her personality before she launches the site. So for all my branding photographers, when you talking on your website and you on there, you can literally use copy like this, like, hey, helping service-based women entrepreneurs create images for their website that shows who they really are. That sold me because I need a photo that shows who I really am, not my old self, right? And the solution, once again, she just hires a branding photographer. But like I told y'all, it's a catch. It's a catch to this. And this is what's really going to set your brand apart after this next example. So we got Ken and Derek, and they lost their last child and have been blessed with another child. So they was pregnant once, they lost that baby and got pregnant again. So they feel like this is like their last pregnancy, and they want to be able to have memories that they can show to their child when they get older and remind them of the blessing God has given them. So what is their problem? They want the memories to remind them of the blessing, but also to show their child when they get older. That tells their pregnancy journey. It's their last child. We want to be able to show this child the journey, what all we went through. So the solution, they don't hire a branding photographer. I should have changed that. They hire a maternity photographer. So thinking about that, all of these are solutions, right? With all of these examples, you see the simple solution is hiring a photographer, right? But I'm gonna be honest, y'all, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. That's what makes everyone a commodity. That's what makes it hard to stand out in the area where it's crowded. That's what makes it hard for you to get booked by more people, right? Because everyone is just taking photos. Everyone in your area right now is taking the photos, sending them, taking unlimited photos with unlimited poses and unlimited edits, send them in a gallery within 24 to 48 hours, and making them send their edits back that they want, and then you send it back to them within 7 to 14 business days. Everybody is doing that. Everybody in your city. So this is why you as a photographer, like I told you earlier, need to develop a unique selling proposition. And your USP is what makes you different. What makes you different than others, right? This is how you stand out in a saturated market, whatever that means, right? And this is how you become the photographer in your area, go to no matter where you stay. And this is also, which is the most important thing, y'all, how you don't put yourself in a box as a photographer and how clients will stop price shopping you. And you can determine that by asking yourself these two questions. How do I determine my USP? How do I determine, Jet, what makes me different? And I want to give y'all two things. Before I tell you all that, I want to give y'all two things that's not the answer. The answer is not your quality. Oh man, you know what's gonna make me this? My photos really stand out. You know, we got attention to detail. I got the best quality. That's not it. That's not it at all. Right. My experience, man. The experience is just fire. We got great customer service. That's not it. Because that's expected. That's something that's expected from somebody paying for a photographer. Great quality photos and great customer service. So that's not what makes you different. Right? That's not what makes you different. You need to be able to answer this question right here. Why should your ideal client invest in the shoot? So they can take the photos with their phone. So before we develop what will make us different, why should they invest in a shoot? Right? Why is that important? And then the second question you want to ask yourself, which is the one that takes more time to figure out, but you will get to know this as you develop your photography brand. Why should they invest with you? Why should they invest with you? Why should I go to branding by Chris Mack versus Ja Wave versus Jern versus the Deli Instagram? Why should I go to Nay versus Sam down the street versus Henry versus Shatisha? Same thing for you, Lance. Why should I go to Lance versus I don't know, Brad. Why should they invest with you? So using the previous examples that we had, if you're a birthday photographer and you understand that what your client USP was, I mean your client problems were, your USP could be you capture photos so good as soon as you post them, you have to turn your notifications off. So people come to you, 21-year-olds, 23-year-olds, 24-year-olds, 30-year-olds, that millennial era, they want photos that blow up. So that's why they come to you. You have their phone blowing up on their birthday. And I promise you, y'all, I promise you, if you're a birthday photographer and you took that and you put that at the top of your website, I'm a birthday photographer for Gen Z women who want their phone blowing up on their birthday. I promise, I guarantee you, you will get more inquiries. Because what do people want to do on their birthday? Have images that blow up their Instagram, liking, commenting, all that. They want that. They want that type of stuff. And that's so important. And it's the same thing for my branded photographers that may be in here, right? As a branded photographer with your ideal client, right? Your USP could literally be this. You showcase the personality in them that makes clients fall in love with them and show them that they trust them with their credit card. So making that simpler. If I'm a branded photographer, right? I take photos of my clients that make them look so trustworthy that people show that they trust them with their credit card. Oh, they drop a launch credit card, they pay, right? So you create images for your client that connects them with potential clients, build trust, and generates more revenue. I promise you, if you took all that jibber jabber off your website and you put at the top of your website, South Carolina branding photographer for women in business who want images that make their clients show that they trust them with their credit card. Every entrepreneur know what that means because that's like a quote, right? Your client shows that they trust you with their credit card, their debit card, not with their mouth. Not saying, "Oh, I'm gonna book with you soon, man. I'm a book." Swipe the card, pay the deposit, right? And for my maternity photographers in here, right? My maternity photographers, something for you will be like you create memories that last forever without doing any work at all. And this is actually my USP. I have busy married expecting couples who work full time, corporately or in business, and they consider themselves busy. So I'm going to help them create memories that they can share with their child when they get older, without them doing any work at all. We give them round trip transportation. They don't have to drive. They don't have to get their hair and makeup done. They don't have to buy no clothes. They don't have to eat in the morning. We provide the breakfast. That's what makes us different. Everybody is not doing that in our city, right? So I focus on capturing memories that they can share with their child without them doing any work. So thinking about this, let's recap. I know we said a lot, and I know this is the business side. This is the non-sexy side. This is this people want to know how to edit. People want to know how to edit. People want to know how to take good photos with good lighting, right? And like I told y'all from week one, I'm the person that's going to teach you how to get booked. I'm not the person that's going to teach you how to take a great photo. I could, but nobody is teaching you how to get booked. So I want to fill that gap in that lane. So we're going to recap what just went on. There are 3 steps to building your brand: committing to a specialty, choosing a who, and developing your USP. It's that simple. What are you going to get really good at taking photos of? That's your specialty. Who are you going to get really good at taking photos of? That's your who. And what makes you different than others? Why should somebody come to you versus anybody else? Now, this